Banks are bracing for an influx of defaulting payments as higher prices across the board force Americans to use credit cards. It comes as over half of Americans earning a six-figure salary report that they're actually living paycheck to paycheck.
It starts with a sound most people ignore: a fridge humming in a kitchen where the shelves are almost empty. A mother stares at her phone, refreshing the same screen again and again, hoping the numbers will change, knowing they won't. Outside, the city glows like everything is normal. Inside, she's calculating how long rice and 2 eggs can stretch. Across the country, a man sleeps in the back seat of his car in a Walmart parking lot, setting an alarm so no one notices him before sunrise. A family in Florida packs their entire life into plastic bins after a rent hike they were never warned about. None of them know each other, but they're all trapped in the same silent countdown. One unexpected bill away from losing everything. This isn't a story about poverty. It's about people who work, who try, who follow every rule, and still fall behind. It's the new American reality, where survival feels like a borrowed privilege and tomorrow feels like a threat. If you're new here, hit subscribe, because understanding what's happening now might be the only way to survive what's coming next.
60%, 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Now, I grew up in a family. I don't know your background, but I grew up in a family, lived paycheck to paycheck. And anyone who lives paycheck to paycheck understands that every single day is a struggle. You got to figure out how you feed the kids, rents, cost of housing in America off the charts, healthcare off the charts. So right now, as we talk, there are people worrying. My landlord, is going to raise my rent by 20%. What the hell do I do? Where do I go? What schools do my kid go to? How do I buy decent food for my kids? My mother is ill. How do I afford prescription drugs for my mother? My car breaks down, so if you have money, no one thinks of it. Your car breaks down, go to the mechanic, you got it fixed. You know what? A lot of people don't have $1,000 in the bank right now. If you don't have $1,000, your car breaks down. How do you get to work? If you don't get to work, you get fired. If you get fired, your whole life is disrupted.
It begins with a quiet kind of fear, the kind that doesn't announce itself, the kind that sits in the room like another shadow. A mother stands in her kitchen, staring at the dull glow of her phone. She refreshes her EBT app again and again and again. The numbers don't move. The fridge hums behind her, steady and indifferent, highlighting the silence inside. There's rice for tonight, maybe enough eggs for tomorrow, and after that she has no plan except hope. Outside, the city lights paint a picture of prosperity that no longer belongs to her. Hundreds of miles away, a grown man tries to sleep in the back seat of his car. He parks at the edge of a Walmart lot so security won't notice him. He keeps the windows cracked, the seat reclined, and his backpack under his legs so no one can steal it while he sleeps. He sets an alarm for 4:45 a.m. so he can drive away before the morning traffic begins. He works a full-time job. He pays taxes. He clocks in and out every day, and yet he sleeps on 4 wheels because rent has become something only the fortunate can manage. In Florida, a family is packing their life into plastic bins, trying to move out of a home that was supposed to be their safe place. Their rent jumped without warning, not by $50, not by $100, but by hundreds. Because someone they've never met bought the property and decided their profit mattered more than this family's stability. The father doesn't call it an eviction. He calls it a forced exit from normal life. Scenes like these aren't rare. They're not exceptions. They're becoming the American routine. People who work 40, 50, even 60 hours a week are still living paycheck to paycheck, trapped in a loop where every dollar is already spent before it arrives. Millions admit they can't pay next month's rent. Millions more pretend they're fine because admitting the truth feels dangerous. Even six-figure earners are slipping, unable to save, unable to breathe, unable to catch up. Housing has turned into a silent predator. Rent rises faster than wages. Corporate landlords scoop up entire neighborhoods, and families are pushed out of the places they once belonged. Owning a home, once a symbol of arrival, has become a dream spoken about in past tense. For many, life has become a monthly negotiation with landlords, lenders, and grocery receipts.
How much can you afford to pay back right now?
None. It's not easy. Every week is hard. Every paycheck is immediately gone. It's gone before we even, have it.
Her problems shared by millions across the country.
Groceries shrink while prices rise. A box that once held ounces now hides empty space behind clever packaging. Gas, utilities, healthcare, every basic need has grown teeth. People say inflation is slowing, but the aisle tells a different story. No one measures the fear of watching your bill grow while the amount in your cart shrinks. No one tracks the moment you stand in line, mentally removing items before the scanner beeps. When the paycheck fails to cover survival, debt steps in like a false friend. Buy now, pay later, credit cards, overdraft protections. Lifelines that feel like help but slowly become traps. Interest climbs quietly. Minimum payments tighten like a vice. People aren't buying luxuries, they're borrowing for groceries, diapers, and gas. Debt has become a substitute for income. Meanwhile, cities claim they're fighting homelessness with billion-dollar budgets, but the tents grow anyway. More shelters, more programs, more spending, but somehow fewer solutions. The system pours money into management, not liberation. Homelessness becomes a cycle with a budget line, not a crisis with an end. All of this points to a truth no one wants to say out loud. The middle class is dissolving. For decades, wages barely moved while the cost of simply existing rose relentlessly. Families that once felt secure now live with the constant hum of anxiety. Young people delay marriage, children, or homes because planning for the future feels like planning for a life they may never afford. Older generations can't retire. They keep working because their savings were erased by years of rising costs and stagnant pay. And if nothing changes, if wages freeze while housing, debt, and basic necessities keep climbing, we may wake up in a country where home ownership is reserved for corporations, where families rent forever, where security is a luxury and instability is the default. This is not a story of failure. It's a story of people doing everything right and still sinking. A story of a system built to protect itself, not the people living in it. A story unfolding quietly in kitchens, cars, shelters, and parking lots, where millions wait for a break that never comes, hoping tomorrow won't be the day everything falls apart.
He works more than full-time. I don't know what to do.
You may have seen this video circulating on TikTok. A woman shares her experience of living paycheck to paycheck in a two-income household. It's a frustrating situation that is all too familiar for many San Diegans.
I have to work nonstop. I'm a full-time driver going up and down San Diego all the way up to LA and back 4 times a week, 10-hour shifts. And then I also cover the Tennessee.
And here's the part most people won't admit, but everyone feels. This isn't happening somewhere far away. It's happening right next to us, maybe even to us. You don't have to lose your job to fall behind now. You just have to live long enough in a system where the numbers rise, but your chances don't. Every story you've seen, every mother waiting for benefits, every family pushed out, every worker sleeping in a car, feels less like an exception and more like a preview. The truth is, people aren't breaking down because they're weak. They're breaking down because they're exhausted. Exhausted from holding up a life that keeps getting heavier. Exhausted from pretending they're okay so no one sees how close they are to slipping. Exhausted from fighting battles that shouldn't exist in the first place. If this video made you stop for even a moment, if it made you look at the world a little differently, then don't walk away from it. Hit subscribe, stay with us, and keep paying attention, because this story isn't ending. It's just beginning. And the only way we face what's coming is by facing it together.